The tools exist: generative design, digital twins, bio-integrated systems. But tools without vision are nothing more than expensive toys. The magic happens when human imagination meets experiences that are yet to be defined. When we stop asking what's next and start asking what if. These are the conversations that reshape life on the water. This is Rethink's Night Out. Good evening and welcome to the 11th edition of Rethink's Night Out. Our sincere thanks to Bart and Marnix and the entire VREPAC team for hosting us once again. I do see a lot of familiar faces, but for anyone who's not been before, let me explain. We have 11 speakers. They're here to share their ideas, their innovations, and some exciting new technology. We are here to listen, to learn, and to think. We're here to examine some of the greatest unanswered questions of our time, like, is it VREPAC or is it VRIPAC? Will we ever know the answer to this question? Over the past years, we've covered a myriad of diverse subjects: new building materials made from organic waste, innovative new liquids for submerging electronics, faster battery charging, hydrogen propulsion. We've discussed how the design of the Sydney Opera House was inspired by segments of orange peel. We've talked about how the open structure of the Eiffel Tower inspired the architect of the Pompidou Centre, which in turn led to the development of the new soles for the Nike Air Max. Last year, we even discussed Beyoncé's body shape, which I found particularly stimulating. And whilst we're maintaining that spirit of innovation and inspiration, tonight we are focused on Foundation Zero, and in particular, an extraordinary yacht, Sailing Yacht Zero, the world's very first fossil-free superyacht. So tonight, while our speakers will take you all through the who, the what, the where, the when, and the how, I would just like to take a few moments to explore something entirely different: the why. This is far more than just an opportunity for us to hear about one project, remarkable as it may be. This is an opportunity for all of us to consider what part we might play in making the world a better place. At first glance, zero looks like nothing, an empty circle, a hollow space. But zero is not nothing. Zero is where everything begins. Zero indifference brings passion. Zero tolerance brings positive action. Ultimately, zero excuses for not leaving the world better than we found it. Is anyone here familiar with Peter Singer? Oh, there we go, two. Who's Peter Singer?
He's a philosopher.
He is a philosopher, sometimes referred to as the most influential living philosopher. And he gives us a simple yet powerful image. Imagine you're walking past a shallow pond and you see a child drowning. You can wade in. It'll ruin your shoes, but you could go and save their life. Do you have a moral responsibility to do so? Of course you do. But what if that child is 200 meters away? Would you do it then? What about a kilometer? What about 5 kilometers? What about 10? What if the child is in another country, in danger from rising tides, floods, or famine caused by climate change? Are we any less responsible? Singer calls this the expanding circle, the idea that our moral responsibility doesn't stop at our doorstep. The moral responsibility doesn't lie with one team or one project. It lies with all of us. And it stretches outwards to strangers, to foreigners, to people we may never meet. So the real question is this: how close to home does the problem have to be before it becomes our problem? Or perhaps how far away does the problem have to be for it to no longer be our problem? The moral distance between us and the drowning child is zero. Zero distance, zero excuses. Suffering counts the same whether it's in front of our eyes or out of sight. But let's move from geographical separation to time. Do you know Derek Parfit? No. Derek Parfit was another renowned modern-day philosopher who unfortunately died a few years ago in 2017. And he gave us another very simple but powerful image known as the broken glass principle. Imagine you smash a bottle on a footpath and you walk away. At first, no one's harmed, but days later, a child runs along, falls, and is cut badly on the glass. Who's responsible? You are. Even though the harm came later, our responsibility doesn't vanish with time. It lasts until the danger is cleared. And these two examples are our reality with sustainability. Who's the drowning child in Singer's case? Is it a child? Our marine life? Our planet itself? We've left a lot of broken glass on the path. Carbon in the atmosphere, plastic in the oceans, damaged ecosystems. Who are the ones that will be cut by that glass? Our children? Our grandchildren? The consequences may not show fully for years, but the duty to act is still ours. The harm needs to be repaired, and the number of excuses we all have is zero. We need to act collectively, but economist Mansa Olson explained the problem of collective action. When a benefit is shared by everyone, it's tempting for each individual to think, my contribution will make no difference. My contribution doesn't matter. But it does. It matters hugely. I went for a run this morning, and apart from nearly being killed by 1,000 people on bicycles, I ended up in, is it Oosterpark? Do you say Oosterpark or Westerpark? Westerpark, on the other side of the city. And there were literally hundreds of black crows in the park. What's the collective noun for crows?
Murder.
A murder. It's a very intelligent man over here on the right. For anyone who's not an English mother tongue, we have a flock of sheep, we have a school of fish, and we have a murder of crows. And the park was full of them this morning. Extremely clever birds, among the most intelligent animals on Earth. Scientists have shown that crows are about as smart as a 3-year-old child. They can recognize faces, use tools, and even solve puzzles. But one of the most famous crow stories doesn't involve murder. Quite the opposite. It's about survival. And it comes from Aesop's fables. A thirsty crow, talking of which, a thirsty crow finds a jug with water at the bottom, but the level is too low for the crow's beak to reach. One pebble dropped inside does virtually nothing. 2 pebbles, still nothing. But the crow keeps going. Pebble after little pebble. The water rises until it can finally drink and survive. And this is the essence of collective action. One pebble alone changes virtually zero. But persistence and all of our tiny pebbles together changes everything. It's also a reminder that impact doesn't depend on size. Even the smallest actions can shift the outcome. As the Dalai Lama once said, if you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. Our speakers' actions tonight are extraordinary. But don't for a moment think that ours don't matter. Each may seem tiny, but when those pebbles are multiplied, they collectively raise the level for us all. And for us, just like the crow, 0 pebbles, 0 change. Enough small pebbles, and life itself can be safeguarded. So, to conclude, 3 principles. The drowning child reminds us that there is 0 distance between us and those who suffer, wherever they are. The broken glass reminds us that there is 0 escape from our responsibility to the future. And the crow reminds us that one pebble alone may feel like nothing, but together anything is possible. 0 is not the end. 0 is the beginning. 0 waste, 0 emissions, 0 harm, and for us all, 0 excuses. Sailing Yacht Zero isn't just a yacht. It's a vision of what's possible when nothing holds us back.